everyone and welcome back to my fashion cupboard baby. Today's video is going to be a 34-week pregnancy update. When I'm filming this video I am 35 weeks and 1 day, so I'm going to look back on week 34 to tell you what happened during that week. So this week has been a little bit more stressful than all of the previous weeks of my pregnancy so far. I had a midwife appointment on Friday the 16th of May and I was 33 plus 2, so 33 weeks and 2 days, and I had my uterus measured, so my fundal measurement, and it was 34 centimetres, so nearly a week higher than what it should have been. It probably should have been about 33 thereabouts. So up until that point I'd been measuring completely to dates, and everything else had been normal, so there was no glucose in my urine or anything like that. But I was sent for a growth scan on the following Monday, so that was the 19th of May, and I was 33 weeks and 5 days at that point. And during a growth scan, what the midwife does is she measures the circumference of the head, the abdomen, and then the length of the femur, which is the thigh bone. And the growth scan gave more or less the same measurements as the fundal had on the previous Friday, so she basically stayed the same over the weekend. So they indicated that she was measuring about 4 days ahead and about just under 6 pounds, so maybe about a ½ pound heavier maybe than they would have expected at that stage. And this is all based on my pre-pregnancy weight of about 9 stone 10 and my height of 5'5", which they'd measured me at. According to my pregnancy app, she should have been about 5.5 pounds at that point, and she was measuring just under 6 pounds. So because of that I was sent for a gestational diabetes test, which was super scary. So that was the following day, that was a Tuesday, and I was 33 plus 6, and it was a 3-hour test, so I had to arrive there at 9 AM and drink 400 ml of Lucozade, which was disgusting. I hate Lucozade. I actually really just hate any sugary drinks, so that was nice. Also made me really bloated, which was lovely. And then they took blood. They obviously took blood before I took the Lucozade to see what my fasting blood was. So actually, to reverse a little bit, you're not allowed to eat from 11 PM the night before. This was 9 AM and they took my fasting blood sugar. I had the Lucozade, they took my blood sugar again at 10 AM and then again at 11 AM. And during this time I wasn't really allowed to get up and walk about. I had to just sit there. I had a book with me, luckily. They did let me go to the toilet, which I was a bit worried about, that I wasn't supposed to kind of get up and do anything energetic. You were just supposed to see how your body reacts without any physical activity. And then I wasn't allowed to leave until I'd had tea and 2 slices of toast, so I guess to make sure you're not going to faint or anything on the way out. So I didn't actually get out till around 12, so quite annoying. I had to take a half day at work, which was not ideal. And so where I went for the test, which was Inverclyde Royal Hospital in Greenock, don't give the gestational diabetes test as standard, so they'll only do it if there's any higher risk factors, and up until that point I didn't have any. So like, I had normal BMI, no type 1 diabetes in my family, although there is in my husband's family, and there was no glucose in my urine at any of my midwife appointments, etc. But I called for the results that evening and all was normal, so thank goodness for that. And I was concerned because I have had a sweet tooth this pregnancy. Like, I have kind of craved like ice cream and kind of pancakes and things like that. I have had a sweet tooth, and I guess because I'm pregnant I'm thinking, oh, I can probably have that chocolate bar, it doesn't matter so much, whereas when I wasn't I'd be more worried about putting on the weight. So I was worried. I'm also thirsty and I'm peeing all the time, but that just showed me that that was just normal pregnancy symptoms and nothing to worry about. So it was a relief because I didn't want to have to check my blood sugar every 4 times a day and follow a low carb diet if I didn't have to. But the most annoying thing was that despite all of that, they've changed my pathway from green, which sounds safe, to red, which sounds a little bit worrying. And it means that I have to give birth in a consultant-led unit and I can't in a midwife-led unit. Also means I can't give birth at my local hospital. I have to go to Paisley, which is a good half an hour away, but probably longer in traffic. So I'll need to, think about that when I'm leaving, when I feel like I'm in labour. And I've got another growth scan scheduled 3rd of June where I'll be 35 plus 6, so just under 36 weeks. Kind of hoping at this stage that she's just had a growth spurt. and that she'll be back on track, or at least that she'll continue to grow in that same vein and not continue to get up and up exponentially. So just now I'm quite happy that she's just a slightly bigger baby. Less than ½ pound over what she should be doesn't concern me too much. And my dad was a twin, and my poor gran carried 2 twins, both of which were over £10 each. So my dad was a smaller twin and he was over £10. I was just under £8 and my husband was about £8, and he's 6 foot tall, so I think it's probably normal for us to have a slightly bigger baby, so I'm not particularly concerned about that. So that was the excitement of this week. As far as symptoms go, I'm still having trouble sleeping, I still have to get up to the toilet all the time, but I've certainly started noticing pelvic pressure now and pelvic pain in general, particularly if I've been sitting down. So I've been at work sitting in front of a computer, I go to stand up and get something from the printer, or go to the toilet or something, I can really feel the shift in pelvic pressure. I feel like she's quite low, so be interesting to see if she's engaged the next time I have a midwife appointment. I also had a sore hip, so I think the return of sciatica is plaguing me again, which is not ideal. I get a little bit breathless after stairs, although I think it's getting better, so I think she's maybe moving down a bit and not pressing so much on my diaphragm. But if I'm walking uphill, I do get a little bit breathless. The baby kicks constantly and it hurts now, so she's definitely getting stronger and bigger. She's moving about, she's rolling about. You can see my belly sort of do a waving motion every time she rolls, which is quite funny, but it hurts when she kicks, and she usually kicks right up here. So she's head down, I should have said that. She is head down, although she wasn't engaged at my last appointment. But yeah, so her feet are up here and she'll kick me right in my ribs, which is pretty painful. Especially at night when I'm trying to get to sleep. That's when she likes to wake up, I think, because I'm resting and I'm lying down, and because I'm lying down on my left side, she likes to kick the bed where it's indenting on my belly, which is obviously restricting her a little bit, but that's the way it goes. And after meals, so she starts to get hyper after meals. According to my midwife, that's because when your stomach's full, she's got a little bit less space, so she kind of feels a little bit cramped in there. So I'm trying not to eat such big meals, particularly because I also have been suffering from acid reflux, which is horrible. If you have you just have to go a little bit overboard on your meal and you just feel awful for hours after. So my meals have definitely been cut down to very small portions. I'm starting to get stressed about getting everything done on time. The nursery is stressing me out, trying to get everything done before I finish up for work as well, so I've got another couple of weeks to go, and it still feels like there's so much to do and so many things to hand over. And yeah, so generally a little bit stressed, but mostly nervous but excited about what's to come, the knowledge that we're nearly there and that it's really the countdown now. I'm really excited to meet my little girl, so yay, so I'm really excited about that. A little bit nervous for our next growth scan, so I'll update you on how that goes as soon as we know. But there you go. So that's my 34-week pregnancy update, and stay tuned for my 35-week, which I'll be uploading in the next week or so, to see how things go with our next growth scan and whether we're going to have a huge baby or not, and whether I'm going to have to get a C-section, which scares me a little bit. However, stay tuned for that, and thanks for watching. Bye!